It's hard not to be angry at people that live worse than animals do. But at the same time, should I not be, while I'm spending an hour and a half or 2 hours with earmuffs on my head, thinking about the Bible, thinking about the Lord, instead of worrying about my job? I'm getting paid to do this. Yes, they're pigs, but I shouldn't let it eat me up. That's sin. I know it is. I should be thinking on the Lord. Anyway, there you go.
Thinking how many liberals there are going through where you go, because that's who makes this mess. Conservatives don't do that.
Conservatives don't do that.
In Washington, at the meetings that they've had,
Oh, disgusting.
a million conservative Tea Party.
And not a shred of garbage on the ground. Not one.
What happens when those liberals get together?
It's filthy. It's worse than animals. It's worse than animals.
They're terrible.
That's right. I totally agree with that 100%. Oh, and you know, I find money all over the parking lot this time of year. I find it in the garbage. You know, people, there'll be a plastic bag, a shopping bag, and they'll throw money in there and they'll throw the whole thing away. Now, who does that? Dad gives the daughter $5 and she says, I want to go buy something. She goes buy something. She's probably wearing a bikini. I already know. I don't need to. I just think, why would somebody do this? She's wearing a bikini. It's not my money. She takes her money, throws it in the bag, and throws the whole thing away. And it happens all the time. I find so much money this time of year. And, you know, yesterday I was at the gas station and there's this... Anyway, she walks out and she paid for her gas inside, walks out, and she opens her wallet and there's money falling all over the place, and she keeps walking, and this guy says, ma'am, you dropped your change, and she says, oh, I know. It's just total contempt for the money that you know, that they've earned or somebody else. No, she just left it there. It had to have been, one of them was a quarter and there were lots of other things falling too. And I'm just like, peanut head. You know, I don't care if you're a multimillionaire. Pick it up, you know. Gee whiz. Anyway, so I only found 22 cents this morning, but some days I find a lot more than that.
Daily Bread this morning, it was talking about the pennies.
Yeah.
It was talking about the pennies.
I didn't read it, but...
Pennies, you know what? Little kids will start picking up pennies. And
it all adds up.
All adds up.
Yeah, well, not just the little kids do. I tell you, Charlie does too. You know, I got to tell you this funny story before we get back into the Bible. Is I was finding pennies all over the parking lot for a while there. And I'm like, oh, bonus, you know. And every time I find a penny, it's like, thank you, Lord. So I put it in my pocket. Well, I'll tell you what, after about a month or two, this is about 3 or 4 years ago, I pick up a penny and the lady says, don't pick that up. I said, why? She says, I leave these for the Mexicans. And I thought, what are you, stupid? You know, first off, what are you going to do? Tell everybody in Sarasota not to pick up these pennies so that the Mexicans can pick them up? I mean, what is she thinking? You know, like these Mexicans walk by there, they were building a condo at the time, and she's just a peanut head. You know, that's just one of those stories. No, it wasn't tracking, but she was all upset that I'm picking up a penny, I find. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, there you go. But a couple weeks ago, I found 2 $5 bills in the dumpster. Oh, that was bonus. Oh, man. That was bonus.
Dove in there and then they're gone.
The what?
What if a Mexican dove in there?
Yeah, you know, I took their money. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, verse 7, somebody. Verse 7. Nope. We're done with the divorce thing.
Be fruitful and increase in number. Multiply on the earth and increase upon it. Now, what's the difference between multiply and increase?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just a poetic way of saying that. You know, sometimes you'll see... Yeah, be really fruitful. And when it says something in 2 different ways, he's saying do this thing, and he's stressing it by being poetic and using synonyms. We do the same thing, you know, when we say, oh, it was a completely lovely, beautiful sunrise. You know, it's like, I don't know what you call the term, but anyway, I think that's what's going on there. Hyperbole, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Unless you read it wrong, then it says hyperbole, doesn't it? Okay, verse 8.
Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you.
Okay, now he is establishing a covenant. This is a one-way covenant, okay? There are two-way covenants, there are one-way covenants. This is a one-way covenant. God is saying, I'm going to do this thing, and the onus is on me entirely. Okay, go ahead.
every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth.
That is unconditional. God has made an unconditional covenant with mankind and all of the animals of the earth in this covenant. There are other unconditional covenants in the Bible. One of them is with Abraham. Okay, we'll get to that one in a few weeks probably, or a couple months. But anyway, that
No more flood?
no more flood to kill all life on earth. Not that there, and people will say, well, this isn't correct because we have floods all the time. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that this is an unconditional covenant that I will never again sweep away all life on earth with a flood. Okay? All right, verse 12. And he's going to, verse 12 and 13 we're going to talk about. So go ahead, read 12 and 13 together. Yeah.
Let somebody else have the fun.
Okay, please, 12 and 13, somebody.
And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud.
Okay, go ahead and read the next one, then stop there.
And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh."
Okay, so here we have the sign, the word here. I just checked it. The word is ot. It's the same thing at the beginning when it says, "These shall be for you for signs and seasons," talking about the stars. The word ot can mean a heavenly portent. It can be a sign from God, etc. Okay, so the word is ot. This shall be my sign. Now, imagine this. This is, we have a rainbow. What does that imply when he says, "I am setting my bow in the heavens"? What does that imply?
It's a sign.
Well, yes, but what does that imply when he says, "This is something I'm putting in the heavens for you to see"?
He's got a principle he wants
It
to
was
be
never,
vivid.
it was never put there before.
It was never there before. Why was there no rainbow before?
Because there was no rain.
No. Rainbows, we have rainbows all the time that they, when I take a shower sometimes and the sun shines off, I see the rainbow, right? Right? What does that tell you? This is only me thinking. I haven't read this, so I can't say that it's right.
They made a new arrangement for how the world functions.
That's exactly right. Here we go. Remember we talked about the earth, and then there was the Rekia above. Okay? The waters from the waters, and I said this is probably crystalline in nature. The sky probably was not blue. Okay? Whatever it wasn't blue, and the sun came through in a different way, and so there was no light refraction. That's exactly right. That's what I think too. So, when this Rekia came out of the sky, remember I said that this may have resonated, and if it resonated, they could have heard the stars. They could have heard the pulsars. Heavenly music could have been heard on earth because of this. But in addition to that, it kept out all of the ultraviolet rays, so people didn't get skin cancers. They lived 900 years instead of 70 years. So this is something unique. It is no longer there. And now we have the sun. And what is it that makes the sky blue? I've said this in class before. What makes the sky blue? Why is it blue? Dust. Remember I said my wife, one day she was outside after she heard this on a sermon on the radio or on the TV, Dr. Kennedy. We were talking about him this morning. Well, anyways, Dr. Kennedy said, "You know what makes the sky blue is dust." And about 2 or 3 days later, she was outside cleaning. I said, "What are you doing?" She was wiping something off, and she says, "I'm thanking God for the dust." So, isn't that sweet? And she was serious about it, too. Anyway, so here we've got the sky above us. It's not like a Rekia anymore, and the light comes through and it refracts. So when the clouds fill with water, what happens? You get a bow, right? That's why there's a rainbow now, and that's how he did. That tells me that everything about what we are living now is different than what we had before. Now, will there still be a rainbow in the millennial age if people are, I would think probably, because I don't think God is going to separate the waters from the waters again. So my guess is we're going to have this, but we're going to have something different. I don't know, but anyway, he's given us his sign of this, and one of the analysis that I have read, and I think it's kind of interesting, it's called a bow. You see my bow in the sky, is here's the earth, and we'll do this here, he puts the bow up, it's saying that I have peace with you because the rainbow goes away from you. It's like shooting away from man instead of down at man, right? Okay, so I thought that was kind of poetically nice. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. But here's something that is really, really cool, and I can't verify this yet, but I will check into it, is that the colors that they use on the... has anybody heard of the Fibonacci series? Okay. You have galaxies are shaped like this. Shells are shaped like this. Everything in nature follows a certain number. They call it in Greek pi, but it's not the 3.14 number. Anyway, if you divide these things in half, it makes a certain geometric number. Okay? Your face, your hand. Okay, this is equal to 2 of these, which is equal to 2 of these, which is equal to 2 of these, which is equal to 2 of these. All right, everything follows a set pattern. Do you see what I'm saying? Your hand follows the Fibonacci series. Everything in nature, the way galaxies are made, the way shells are made, everything follows the same Fibonacci series. Everything. It is unbelievable. The way flowers open up. The shape of them. It's not random chance. Everything follows the Fibonacci series. This guy, it's named after a guy named Fibonacci. Anyway, what I heard a couple days ago, I don't know if it's true, but it's kind of interesting, and if it is, it's very cool, is that in the Ark, you have we'll say like the veil in front of the Ark of the Covenant, and the materials that the tabernacle was made of. There are certain colored materials, blue, crimson. He lists these colors. Well, anyway, apparently, when light is refracted, you've got like the rainbow, you've got the different colors of the rainbow. Apparently, the Fibonacci numbers, or the sequence of numbers, is the colors of the veil and of the tabernacle. And who would have known that? Nobody would have known. Now, I can't say that's true, but, what's that? Fibonacci, I believe. If you type it in, it'll come up. And if I spelled it wrong, then it'll correct it for you on Google. Fibonacci series. Anyway, and I'll tell you what you can do is you can go to YouTube and you can watch YouTubes that people have done of the Fibonacci series. And it is so cool talking about creation. Anyway, yes?
It occurs to me that the human fetus comes out.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I bet you it does. And everything follows this pattern. I mean, everything. The way that as I said, the way your face is designed, the way your hands are designed, the way constellations are designed, everything follows the same numeric pattern. And then I said a while ago, and you may have heard me, I think it was on a Sunday, talking about fractal geometry. I don't know if you remember me bringing that up. Same thing. Fractal geometry is, you have a cloud. This is just neat stuff, and it all has to do with creation, so we might as well do it. This is a cloud, right? It's just floating around in the sky. There's nothing random about that cloud. Nothing. You have a landscape of mountains, right? There's nothing random about that. The way that a river runs down a mountain, and it divides, and it divides, and it divides, right? It does this, okay? It looks like inside of the hand, the blood vessels. It looks like every single thing that we see around us, everything in nature, there's nothing random about it. A Jewish guy said he started to see geometric patterns in here. And he said, how can this be? He says, and people dismissed him. Now, why would they? I was thinking about this when I was cleaning the parking lot after I was angry this morning. I said, Lord, give me something to think about. Why would people dismiss this guy saying all of this fits a geometric pattern?
I want to acknowledge God and be
They know, that's right, they know that if this is true, then it demonstrates a creator. They know that. Well, come to find out, all of this stuff actually does fit the fractal geometry that this guy postulated. And you know what? You can't make a movie today, an animated movie. They use fractal geometry to make movies. So when you see a lava scene out in space, flowing over something in the middle of space where lava doesn't actually exist, or they make a computer-generated movie of lava, it's all done with fractal geometry, done in a computer. They start out with a single line, then they double the line, they double the line, they double the line, and pretty soon it looks like whatever they're trying to make, a mountain scene, but it's all done with fractal geometry, which matches nature, okay? That cloud has a pattern. It's not something random that happens. Every single thing in nature. Now, here's the thing that I was talking about in Sunday school, and you'll probably remember this, and this all goes back to the creation account.